beautiful, beautiful music. I want to thank you guys for showing up sober. Okay. Good morning, everyone. We have a potluck taking place, not a potluck, but it's actually a barbecue taking place after the service. And I want to just let you in on some of the things that ministers have to deal with. You know, at my first service, the 9 o'clock service, I reminded everybody that there's a potluck taking place after the second service. And I said, you know, you should bring a side dish of some kind. We're going to supply the hamburgers, you know, veggie burgers and frankfurters, but bring a side dish. And if you're not sure about what to bring, I said to them, bring potato salad. And then as I left that room, that talk, somebody came up to me and said, I'm not bringing potato salad, I'm going to bring strawberry shortcake. And it just got the best of me. She knows that I'm a minister, and in a church I can't argue with her. People standing around and everything. So I took it to the side and said, bring potato salad. That's from the Word of God. So if you haven't thought of what to bring yet, go get some potato salad. That's the only thing that really goes with barbecue. All right, I'm not even going to ask you. Are there anybody here for the first time? I'm kind of glad that you weren't exposed to that stupidity. All right, you're going to receive a really insightful spiritual talk. Santisha's been saving up. She's been out of the pulpit for 2 weeks. She is going to be right in touch with the divine. So look forward to this talk.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Unity at Boulder. Thanks for joining us today, those of you here in person and those of us who are joining us online. We love spending some time with you. As Jack said, we're having that barbecue potluck after the service today. Please stick around. Even if you didn't bring a dish, still just come and enjoy and hang out and meet people. It's always a good time. A few upcoming events here at Unity of Boulder. We are bringing back, after a few years hiatus, our Angel Camp. That is our summer camp for ages 4 to 9. That's going to be starting July 15th through the 19th. It starts at 9 in the morning and goes till 12:30 in the afternoon. If you know any kids that are yours, grandkids or neighbors who are looking for something fun to do this summer, we always have such a good time. We have games. We're going to a zoo. We're going to have a talent show at the end of the week up here on this stage with the kids. It is so much fun. It's going to be led by Santisha and Heather, who are this is their favorite event to pull off. And we've got a few other wonderful volunteers running it. So please, you can sign up for that in the bookstore. That's $90 per child or $145 for 2 children if you have 2. So please check that out. It is a hoot. It is so much fun. And next week, following the second service, we're going to try something a little new. If you noticed when you pulled in today, this place is completely overgrown. All the trees, all the bushes, the weeds in the parking lot. What we'd like to try is, if anyone who has any sort of power tools, like a weed eater, any sort of hedge trimmer, anything, bring it all. If you have a chainsaw, bring that. We want to see how much we can get trimmed in this parking lot in under an hour. We don't want to do it for hours and hours. We just want to trim and clean this place up as much as we can and see if we can crowdsource this and get this done. The cost of hiring our landscaping company to come out and do this is just like everything else in all our lives, is going through the roof. So if anyone has any power tools like a weed eater or anything like that and you'd like to bring it next week, and I'll be joining you outside. I'm going to bring a few items, a few tools. So please join us. We'll have a good time. All right, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity this morning. So this is the point in our service where it's a call to prayer. This is a point where we align ourselves with this power, this divine essence that lives within us that can align with another soul's energy and bring healing into their lives if they're facing a challenge mentally, spiritually, physically. There's sheets in front of you in your pews, and you can write their names down. You don't need to write what the issue is. We know Spirit already knows what they need before we ask. It's really about coming together, 2 to 3 in prayer. Spirit is there in that moment. And so we're going to do that practice and sing this song. And Steve Sheets, who's the head of our prayer partners, will be walking down and collecting those names and putting it in our prayer box for a month. For 30 days, we prayed over here in the sanctuary, and then it was sent to Silent Unity in Kansas City and prayed over for another 30 days. But we like to sing this song. They say to sing is to pray twice and to align ourselves with this higher vibration that song does. So I invite you to join us. You are the air I breathe. You are the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me, and I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful for you. Now you know it, you can join us. You are the air I breathe. You are the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me, and I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful for you, so grateful for you. And so it is. Great singing. Now, let's give a warm welcome for our in-house rock band. Get ready to shake your booty. Here we go. Ravenwolf.
Thank you, Santisha. I got my cheat sheet down here, so.
We dedicate this song to America's birthday coming up. Imagine, if you will, you're standing on the moon.
Standing on the moon, I got no cobweb on my shoe. Standing on the moon, I'm feeling so alone and blue. I see the Gulf of Mexico, it's tiny as a tear. The coast of California must be somewhere over here, over here. Standing on the moon, I see the battle rage below. Standing on the moon, I see the soldiers come and go. There's a metal flag beside me, someone planted long ago. Oh, glory, standing stiffly,
crimson, white, and indigo. Oh, glory standing stiffly, crimson, white, and indigo, indigo. I see all of Southeast Asia, I can see El Salvador. I hear the cries of children and the other songs of war. It's like a mighty melody that rings down from the sky. Standing here upon the moon, I watch it all roll by, all roll by, all roll by, all roll by. Standing on the moon, see the shadow of the sun. Standing on the moon, the stars go fading one by one. Hear a cry of victory, another of defeat, and a scrap of some old lullaby down some forgotten street, forgotten street. Standing on the moon, where talk is cheap and vision true. Standing on the moon, but I would rather be with you. Somewhere in San Francisco, on a back porch in July, just looking up at heaven, to that crescent in the sky, in the sky. Standing on the moon, with nothing left to do, a lovely view of heaven, but I'd rather be with you. A lovely view of heaven, but I'd rather be with you, be with you. Be with you. I'd rather 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 be with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, let's invite the entertainment club up here. We're going to do a joy song together. Come on up. Thank you, Heather, and the Raven Wolf Band. Amazing. So good.
Anybody else who wants to be in it?
Anybody that knows this song can come and join us up here as well. All right, here we go. You guys can all stand. Let's get some energy in our bodies here. I'm at the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm at the supposed to be. I'm at the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm at the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm at the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm at the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I want to hear it over here go. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Your soul is welcome here. Our souls are welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Beautiful singing. Hallelujah. Can you take those down? Thank you. Is by Daniel Namad, who is a big producer of music for the Unity movement. I thought I'd share a little bit of it with you in the next few weeks because he's really a special dear friend and has been contributing, embracing just easy songs like that that remind us that unity is a place to come home to. You know, unity is a place where we recognize all souls, all life, all colors, all diversity, all LGBTQAI. We invite everyone, every expression, every being on this planet to come and not so much worship here, but come into our wholeness to remember the truth of our beings in all the unique ways that we show up, right? So today's talk is embracing your individuality and true self, which I don't know how much I'm going to cover that particular topic. I wrote the sermon 2 weeks ago, and I came back from the ministers' conference from Kansas City and landed back probably in a chemicalization, as they say. I got a lot of information in the intellect, and the body got sick when I came back here, needing to kind of let it land in the physical and wake up where it can be then shared, right? So that's the beauty of going back to these conferences. We get very inspired. We remember why we've been called to this work as ministers, as spiritual teachers. And we're also like so inspired that we're like, how am I going to implement all of that? You know, there's almost a sense that it's you and God, and with God all things are possible. And at the same time, how do you shift old energy? I've been doing lots of talks from moving from the old paradigm to the new paradigm. You know, awakening to the new earth. All the different words, you know, quantum leaps and 3D to 5D consciousness, and all in the end, it's really just a consciousness shift that's taking place. And not only in your lives, but in mine as well. So that's how that works. The universe is honorable, right? So everybody that's on this journey is letting go of that old self, that old limitation that can't really see where we want to land in this awakening, right? And so what we do know is that we don't know. And that's kind of the proof that we're on the path correctly right now. Who feels that way, that they do know that they don't know? Isn't that a wonderful place to land? Not all the time, right? Yeah, I know, I agree, right? But when we celebrate that that's part of the journey, when we get to the not knowing, that means we're starting to let go of the old, though, and we're not bringing it to the present or to the future, right? The old limited belief systems and things of that nature. So there is a divine potential, a spark of light within each and every one of you, expressed in your own unique and individual ways, which is perfect, made of spirit, and there is nobody out there made exactly like you. And you can really just take that in. There's nobody out there that's made exactly like you. That's what makes you such an important, individualized human expression of this God essence. In this world, it takes the collective together to bring this one moment of wholeness, of love that is needed in this world for peace and harmony. You are all independent thinkers. You're cultural, you're creative, and at this very uniqueness, that makes up the perfection of the Unity people here at Unity Boulder and around this world. Going to the conference in Kansas City, it was just so wonderful to witness all the diversity, all the different faces of God. And we see it so much more in Kansas City than we do see here in Boulder. That can be very Aryan and lacking all the cultures that come together that make this wonderful country, you know. And so it gives me hope that we can become a springboard of a place where when we look around, we see everyone, not just some of us in this congregation, that people see themselves when they walk into this incredible healing center that has brought so much light to this particular town and far out, and is touching the hearts and minds of people all over the country, and that everybody feels welcome here because everyone is welcome here at Unity at large. So, did you guys know that your souls were welcome here? Did you ever contemplate that? Well, they are, if that wasn't made clear today. So, and there are other words I've heard us call besides, you know, cultural and advanced and, you know, true to our inner works and things of that nature, but we've also been called other things. And that was brought to our attention at Unity Village that some people call us weird. Have you ever heard that? The unitics, right? The unitics, right? Or they think out of the box. They walk to their own drumbeat. And while they may seem a little insulting, I'm proud of the beautiful non-conforming individuals we all are, right? That's what's beautiful about this place, because everybody is welcome here. There are no sheep here, just leaders in training, taking full accountability and responsibility for the direct connection with God in and as you are in expression. So every Sunday, every class, every meditation, every day, we're just mirroring and awakening this beacon of light that you already are. And I know that we're making a difference in this world because you are a part of it. And you're listening to messages from here. And you're remembering that you are the actual aspect of God that meets in people's lives at grocery stores, with a homeless person at the side of the road, at any unique moment, just a young person sitting by themselves with a drawn face and you asking if they're okay, and just sitting in the presence, mirroring the perfection for all those that are seeking a need for community and connection, because we need that more than we've ever needed it, and yet people aren't running to it. People need to feel invited to community. And you can see, there's always this funny statement in unity that unity is the best kept secret. Well, guess what? If we keep it being the best kept secret, it will not be here anymore, unfortunately. We don't want to have to talk to people and tell them about our churches because we don't want to look like we're pushing people to do something that they don't want, and that feels a little bit kind of Christian, how they will really try to get you to their church and get you to the church. But when you realize that you can bring any expression of religion in here and they're going to feel like they're home here, that you can see somebody that's facing a physical illness right now, or facing a divorce, or facing a loss of a child, or facing a very big change in their lives, and you can be firm in knowing that when you invite them to Unity of Boulder, it's a pretty good chance they're going to feel like they found their home, just as you did one day. Right? So I guess I'm imploring you to start doing that, because as far as this beautiful building, when you look around it, I'm pretty sure we want to stay here. Don't we? Yeah. So that means we have to do that together, right? Okay. So when you think about being called weird or walking to our own, drum beat, and many of us probably were like this before we ever went to Unity, and it's why we fit into Unity, they would refer to us as something maybe like a black sheep from our family. So I want to do a breakdown of the black sheep because we're going to celebrate ourselves as black sheep today. The black sheep of the family holds a powerful spiritual significance. They're often seen as catalysts for growth and transformation within their lineage. Their unique journey challenges traditional beliefs and invites others to question their own paths. By embracing their individuality, they inspire others to break free from societal constraints and embark on their own authentic spiritual journey. Right? So who feels like they can identify as black sheep today? Yeah, right. That's a good place to be. We just don't like those kind of remarks, but the truth is I look back at my personality and my family, and absolutely I was a black sheep, but also were my brothers in their own ways, right? If your parents held a pretty good, safe space, your children are going to be wild, and they're going to become who they're supposed to be in this world. You held a container, but you let that soul grow, because their souls were welcome in that family. Right? But a black sheep can have that connotation that they weren't accepted as this expanded version within the confines of the family traditional systems, right? So either way, you're invited here. So I wanted to let you know, every once in a while I bring in astrology into services because astrology's dear to my heart, and it's something. Edgar Casey's my middle name. I'm really into the stars and how they affect our physical and mental bodies. So yesterday, I don't know if you know, but Saturn went into retrograde, and it's going to be there from June 29th, which is yesterday, through November 15th. And this planet of limits, lessons, responsibility, and karma, Saturn will travel in the sign of Pisces. So Saturn represents the seen world. Okay? But when it is in retrograde, it's about the unseen world. Okay, this is cool stuff, right? So it's about your birth chart and the areas where you feel like you're stumbling. This retrograde will bring it into a clear focus, tightening up your presence and focus in this area, getting you to work on unhealed aspects, the karmic aspects, where you no longer want to bring broken pieces of yourself to your dharma, to your dreams and passions. So it's about coming full circle and being landed into your dharma this lifetime by November 15th, right? So that means it's going to be a little bit rocky for some signs more than others. But most importantly, what we really need to know is that because this planet is in retrograde, that means that our spirit guides are right with us, guiding every bit. So just rest in that. Have your meditations, call on the ethereal realm, because it's the unseen realm that's pulled forward, friendships, parents, people that are no longer with us in the physical, and ask for the divine guidance as you're being brought into your dharma, which probably parents and grandparents would actually really know on the other side how they can help you land where you belong now. Right? So really calling the angels, calling this ethereal realm to finally get us to the place where we can really step into our wholeness, in our into our homeostasis, into the state of absolute health, mind, body, and spirit, and then express that way in everything that we do. So I'm going to be referring to a sermon that Eric Butterworth gave in New York many, many years ago called "To Dream the Impossible Dream." Many of us have heard this lovely little song from the Broadway musical, The Man from La Mancha. It's an inspiring and hopeful song, a song that points to the importance of having lofty goals, a song that, of lofty goals, of a moon to reach for, and of the high hills of hope to beckon us and urge us to keep on. One of Jesus' greatest statements, and one that I love very much, is this. In Matthew 5:38, "Be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect." Be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. And if you read this from only a Christian point of view, then it looks like there's this Father that's in heaven that is perfect. So be ye perfect as Father in heaven, but the Father is us. This is the higher consciousness. So this is how we get to understand what unity does here, right? There is no separate Father, there is no separate God. God is consciousness, and it's the highest form. So be ye perfect as your Father of this highest consciousness. And I'm going to break this down metaphysically so you understand what these words mean when we look at our founder, Charles Fillmore, and understand what unity actually really is, okay? Metaphysical meaning of heaven, the kingdom of heaven or of the heavens is a state of consciousness in which the soul and the body are in harmony with divine mind. Heaven, the kingdom of heaven or the heavens is a state of consciousness in which the soul and the body are in harmony with divine mind. So that's, the soul is in harmony with this expanded awareness. It's unity between those two things that creates this heaven in the very midst of us. And God as Father, metaphysically, means is the cause and source of the mind and life that is being expressed everywhere, whether this is known to the senses or unknown to them. So all of it brings it here. But we have to be perfect for this thing outside of us that's judging us when we read these Bible quotes. And the only judger is us. And it shouldn't be judgment. It should be merely observing the ways at which we are not living from this higher potential. The perfection of the higher potential of you as God in this expression, right? So people will say unity is so much easier because you don't have to placate to Jesus to get to God, and you have to hold yourself responsible, and you have to be the one that has to speak this language of unity through you, but that's not true. We have to hold ourselves responsible. Have you ever had to work from home, a job, and have to get all your tasks done in a day? It's harder to do it at home, is it not, when it's on you to make sure that you sit your butt down at that computer when it's sunny outside and birds are outside and bird seeds outside and butterflies, and you're like, oh, I don't think they'll notice I didn't work for 4 hours today, right? And it's the same way with spirituality, right? So when you think that there's this God outside of you that's judging you and that you really want to go to heaven someday, that will get some fire on our feet. That kind of gets us in a nice fear-based place to deliver, right? It's a good driver. It also gets tithes in the church, too. But what if you have to give because you just live the laws of the truth, which is it's in giving that we receive. It's in the service of our giving that we receive. It's in the selflessness of recognizing there is an honorable energy that recognizes the truth that will set you free. And you will learn this by practicing it. You'll learn this by putting money in that offering, 10% actually of your actual gross pays, and you will watch how you don't think of the things that you ever need anymore. Mind, body, and spirit. But somehow, because we don't ever want to bring that up here because we don't want to guilt anybody and we don't want to make you feel like you're not coming up to it, I don't want you to learn the way that you come here and the doors are locked. Because we tend to wait till that moment to really step into that which is being called for the deliverance, for the awakening, for the call to action, to take care of something that matters to you. So we have to ask ourselves, does it matter to us, right? Does it matter? So perfection comes from a cleansed mind, a harmony between head and heart, as a channel for spirit expressed everywhere. And so it's expressed everywhere, right? So it's a great idea that has profound implications which are rarely understood, by the way, by most. For instance, some time ago I read some comments on this statement in an article written by an Orthodox minister. He stressed the usual traditional conservative view. He said, Jesus challenged people with unattainable goals and the lure of the impossible. And he went on to point out all the high ideals of Jesus' teachings, such as forgiveness and the love of service, of losing oneself for his sake, of turning the other cheek, of loving one's enemies, even doing good to those who persecute us. Of these, he says, and this is certainly a little startling to one who has caught the more optimistic message of Unity's truth, he says, the fact is, of course, these are impossible for weak, sinful humans to attain. Jesus knew the value of the challenge of the absolute, of the lure of the impossible. He knew that we better have goals that are beyond our grasp, or what's a heaven for? What is this heaven for that's in the very midst of us if we believe that there's limitations to it, right here and now? Right, so anything that's unsettling in your life right now, you're believing in that limitation. You're believing in what you're seeing. You're believing in the facts right in front of your nose right now. Because to believe in this heaven in the midst of you is expansion. It's expanded awareness. It's seeing it from a much bigger view than self. It's from a spiritual view. It's from the ego view, looking down from a bigger picture of, I feel this urge of this in my life because this is God tapping on the door that there's so much more for me here. But we live in this limited, closed down box where we look here and it's like, but it's not possible. It's not possible because you believe in your limitations. And this is what they're referring to as the weak and the sinful version of yourself. But we don't use words like that in Unity, weak or sinful. Sin metaphysically means missing the mark, falling short of the divine law. The blah, 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 blah. All right, let's try this again. My tongue wasn't going to keep up with this, whatever's going on here. All right, falling short of the divine law. The divine law is the law of God. The law of being, it is the underlying principle of every man's being and of the universe, or every person's being and of the universe. So it's just missing the mark. So stop it. Stop missing the mark. Change your mind, change your words, change your life, right? That's all it takes. Get positive, get optimistic, see your glass half full, not half empty, right? Okay. So it's a good idea. It's a helpful thought and practice for a person to keep reaching, yearning, hoping, but then having faith that it will all come out because the universe knows what you need before you even ask. Just getting in alignment with that. And then it comes down to that worthiness. Do you believe you deserve this goodness and godness in your life? So the high aspirations that Jesus suggests are without a doubt impossible for weak, sinful humans to attain. But then, why be weak? Why fall short of the divine law? Why not deal with life at a higher level of your own potential and consciousness? Dreaming, because life without dreams is not complete. Let's think of some of those dreams that you've had. I had somebody say to me this week, I just feel so angry all the time lately. Another person, all this person want to share is, I just don't ever sleep anymore. I just never can sleep. And I'm sitting in my office and it's like, that's what I've shared of, I'm angry, I never sleep. And I'm thinking, do you listen to what happens here at Unity at Boulder? What do you think you're creating more of when you're speaking that you're angry all the time or that you're not sleeping? What are you manifesting for yourself? More of that, right? So, and we get lazy with our thoughts and our words and our actions. And the mere experience you're having, you're creating, right? Like everything is like wherever you go, there you are. Like you're like, I need to move out of this town. This town is garbage. Trust me, the garbage will meet you on the other town that you're deciding you're going to go to. Wherever you go, there you are, right? So today, take an inventory of where you've been bitching about your lives with everybody and stop it. This is missing the mark. This is sinning. Because not only are you affecting your own life, but you're drooling on other people's, like their auras and their lives. Why do we lead with our pains instead of lead with the beauty that is in your life? Why do we do that? Right? So, I'm going to share this slide by Eric Butterworth. As we discover more and more of our own inner nature, more and more of our divine potential, we begin to realize that Jesus did what he did and achieved the overcomings that he achieved because he transcended the impossible. He touched that dimension of life where all things are possible. He touched that dimension, right? So, it's an amazing thing when you start to realize we can do this. But is the pain body more important to worship, to get attention, than to become limitless? Limitless, filled with potential. And remembering you're fully realized the moment you change your words. You're fully realized the moment you know you're healed. You're fully realized when you start to speak the truth that your heart speaks. That whisper, that light that knows you've got this. You've always had this. But we've emulated people that preceded us, that led with the pain body, and we got a bad habit. And it's worked for us, and we've gotten some attention from it. We might have even gotten handouts because of it. But you don't need handouts when you're connected with this opulent, abundant universe that wants to give to you, but you have to be honorable about your giving. So, I had an experience yesterday where I went with my eldest daughter, who's getting married in the fall in the south of France, and we were going to pick up her wedding dress that she had ordered down in Denver. And it was this place that's just right outside of downtown Denver in a very random place, and I'd gone to everywhere to go shopping with her, but this particular dress, she'd found it somewhere else, and then she got it this place to order it for her. And she'd gone without me, so I never got to see the original dress of exactly what it was going to look like. I saw part of it, but not exactly. So we went to this random, beautiful bridal place that is built in an old building that was completely redone into this gorgeous bridal suite. And we showed up there about 9:30 yesterday, and you have to have a reservation and hit the ding dong and the bell and the whole bit. Let's just say that when I got mine on like sales. You know, my dresses, I don't know, were more than $100. Like, this is a little different experience. Her dad's a little bit more wealthy and materialistic than me. Okay, anyhow. So we got there, and it's like I'm trying to be really in this expanded, spending a lot of money on a dress. The bell goes off, and we go inside, and we go up these back stairs, and then we end up in this gorgeous lobby with these women just dressed to the nines that are waiting for all the appointments that are coming that day to be fitted or pick up their dresses or whatever. And we walked up there, and there's these young girls, and then there's this woman that's middle-aged, and she looks right into my soul, and I recognize her. And then she looks at Rennie, and then she looks at my mom. And she goes, "Do you guys have an appointment?" And I was like, "No, my daughter, Arenya White, has an appointment." "Oh, Arenya White." She goes, "I know you guys. You're from Unity." And she's just lit up, right? And so we go to try on the dress, and she comes and talks to us and says that this dream was manifested from being a part of Unity. And this was something she always wanted to do with her life, and she built this multi-million-dollar place. I mean, it's the most gorgeous place I've ever seen in my life. She's sharing us how Unity of Boulder has transformed her life for the last 30 years. And it was so a message I needed to hear with the talk I knew I was giving today. And how the universe just is honorable, where I felt seen. My mom felt seen. We felt loved. And we felt a part of her. She felt a part of us. And when Rennie put the dress on, she's just as captivated by this moment with us. We're in tears. And she says, "Who's going to be performing the wedding in the south of France?" And I said, "My dad, Jack." And she just started crying. Like her full circle dream of opening up this beautiful place, us just walking in as randos, just to like validate her dream coming true, was just an amazing experience. And it's these kind of things that I feel like you, unfortunately, when you don't work from the leadership level, see how this place transforms people's lives and how it created a foundation in a person that would have been working in a job she didn't like her entire life and saved money until she built her dream. And is now like says, I just run to this place. I can't wait to come to work. Right? And that is the limitless possibilities, that potential that lives within us, that we don't stay stuck in a job we do not like. Obviously, we stay in it to make sure, don't be stupid. Right? Make plans with it and start putting money away, things of this nature. So how do we know when we're on the right path here? How do you know you're on the right path? Because it disappears. That's how you know. How do you know you're really doing something radical? It's because you can't see where you are going. That's how you know. But everything you've leaned on for your identity has gone, and so you are going to enter the contemplative splendors of self-doubt. At the same time, you're setting out on this radical new path. You cannot sleep, walk your way into your destiny. You must wake up and pay attention. But like I said, are you comfortable with the not knowing? Because that's presence. So I wanted to bring this up because we know that Unity was founded really by Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, but it really started by a story that Myrtle Fillmore had tuberculosis, and she was going to be dying within 3 months of that diagnosis. They moved to Kansas City to fix it because the air was something that would help with it. She was still dying of this problem. She went to a talk by a man named E.B. Weeks, and she went and sat, and this is one of the big New Thought teachers at the time. This is right before Unity's been born. And while she was sitting in this lecture, she heard the words, "I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness." She left in this this feeling. It was like a lightning bolt in her body and her being. And she said to Charles and everybody else that went to that talk, she said, "Did you hear that?" None of them heard it. She heard it. And she worked with those words. "I'm a child of God, therefore I don't inherit illness." Every time she's fearful, she says, "I do not inherit this. I will not claim this. This is not mine." This is a deadly disease that she healed herself within 2 months, and it was gone, and she lived another 16 years of her life. And then she became the mother of Unity, who prayed with people, who spoke the health back to their bodies. She taught them how to speak that health back into the body. This is us not being in sin. This is being transformative and recognizing the power that lives within each and every one of us. So I want to inspire you, take you on a visualization, and make this about this community. So I can utilize, as a collective force, we can start praying for this place as a force of love and energy, and see this place being here 10, 20, 30 years down this road. So I'm going to ask for some music, and I'm going to take you on a visualization. If Myrtle can heal herself from a terminal disease because she affirmed that that wasn't possible, then Unity of Boulder can get its financials right. By the generous giving that people always gave this place, we never had to think upon it. It was always taken care of. And we have to ask in our hearts, if we don't have to give it fiscally, then it's giving it. We need your help. We need your time. We're asking you to weed whack this property. Please bring them next noon. We can't keep paying for all these services when there's this many people sitting in here. And I know you're joining us online. I'm imploring you to tithe to the center if this message matters to you. So I wanted to guide you into a visualization for Unity of Boulder. Just take a deep breath and just let go of any of the stressful ways I was just talking, and let that go out of your bodies. I need to do it out of my own too. God bless us all. Recognizing as a collective oneness, we can do so much more than by ourselves. For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there am I with you. I want us to bring to mind unity as the beautiful building picturesque as it is, with the gorgeous backdrop of the Rocky Mountains, and sitting on sweeping acres of gorgeous land with beautiful trees, a garden, a lovely little creek, and its own personal family of deer and endless wildlife. We've called this our spiritual home for 32 years, this building. This building was built by the finances and those who attended at the other church on 16th and Spruce, and was a prayer for all those who attended back then, many whom are not with us in the physical anymore, who gave of their time, their talent, and their treasure back in the 1980s until it was fully built in 1992, and it was paid off in full the day it opened. We're grateful for their love, their faith, and their dedication that landed us within such a beautiful place to gather. This address, 2855 Folsom Street, Boulder, Colorado, 80304. That is our address. And pray that it may stay our address for the coming years. So now I want us to bring to mind or to heart a memory you have here at Unity that stands out in your mind's eye, that resonates in your heart and soul. Maybe it's the moment you came into this place and realized you were home. Maybe it was when you became aware that there were people who spoke your same language, a language of divine, limitless power that lives in each one of us. And we all get to model and share this loving, divine, limitless love in expression without any question here. Or maybe it was when you attended one of Unity of Boulder's extraordinary Easter or Christmas productions that sprung open your heart, and the awe you felt of the collective vision and talent that exists here in this powerful community. So we realize that with affirmative prayer, we are all vibrational beings. And by just the tuning of a string or the balancing of a tuning fork, we as expression are limitless in manifesting from this opulent, generous universe. All that is needed for Unity of Boulder to be back in financial balance. We know by the law of attraction that if we see the entire building and all the people connected with it surrounded in the light, returning to their spiritual home, that we all will return to our spiritual home within and to our inner balance. And so we affirm by that unseen mystery that called this ministry to the service of divine love as a beacon, as a shelter, as a place to heal for all who attended it, that this call from the universe that manifested Unity of Boulder in the first place remains at the heart of the gorgeous work it provides for this community, the world, and this planet. So bringing again to our mind's eye the memory you personally hold that unifies your heart with the center, we know with your continued support and prayer, through your generous giving, and by your time of service to Unity, we can come full circle, returning to fiscal peace and seeing this place filling up again, with whom we're all called to this spiritual path. And as Meister Eckhart said, if the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough. And so it is. Amen. And I'm going to do one more call to action before we take an offering for Unity. This visualization is an effort for information, for you to understand where we are. This information is not for gossip. This information is not to be putting energy into fear or limitation. I implore you to hold responsibility with your tongue, within this information, that you affirm the goodness for this place within yourself and your own relationship with this place. This is not gossip material. This is prayerful material. Hold each other responsible for what you want to talk about this. Don't talk about it. Keep it in prayer. Thank you.
Freely received insight and truth. And as you know, most of you are, many of you have been Unity students a long time. And you know that sharing the truth openly the way we do in Unity doesn't always go over well with people who have strong personal self-interests still in different things in their physical lives. So it's stepping out on a limb. I will tell you the one problem Unity really has, the big problem Unity has in finding that way toward physical prosperity. The problem is that Unity has eliminated guilt from its theology altogether. We never use the whole idea of God and heaven and being right with God or else. Never happens in Unity, because our whole process here is to help people recognize their own divinity, the joy, the love, the beauty of their divine nature, and bring that forth in their expression. So the problem we still have to some degree is that other churches use guilt, make you afraid that if you don't come across and you don't tithe in a good way, you may not get into heaven. In Unity, we've gotten rid of that altogether because it's a lie. It's a complete lie. So I just wanted to let you know the big problem we have in Unity is that we live, teach, and share the truth. With that in mind, let's bring into our hands and our minds that gift we'd like to make today to Unity of Boulder. And let's bless it with this divine prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is. And our special music from Raven Wolf. I want to tell you how raven these people really are. Yeah. You know, Heather got here early this morning. I caught her. I changed my talk completely. I had to come up with new PowerPoints. She's the one that has to type them. I catch up with her. She's in fellowship hall setting up tables for the barbecue. And she has 100 things she has to do. They're all sitting, waiting for her to do it. And I didn't even realize she's doing the entertainment today. So I've got to give her a big round of applause.
Thank you, Jack. Well, I really learned things from your PowerPoint, so I really appreciate typing them.
Okay.
I learn something every week.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
This one might make you want to shake your booties. Feel free.
You playing a different song?
You probably see a man at the liquor store begging for your change. The hair on his face is dirty, dreadlocked in for the mange. He asked the man for what he could spare with shame in his eyes. Get that he slobs is all he replies. God forbid you'd ever have to walk a mile in his shoes. Then you really might know what it's like to sing the blues. And then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. And then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. And then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. And then you really might know what it's like. Mary got pregnant from a kid named Tom. He said he was in love. Said, don't worry about a thing, baby doll. I'm the man you've been dreaming of. But 3 months later, he said he won't date her or return her calls. She said, understand if I find that man, I'm writing on all his walls. Now she gets some static walking through the clinic, walking through the back. They call her a killer. They call her a sinner, they call her a hack. God forbid you'd ever have to work up to your shoes. And then you really might know what it's like to have to choose. And then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. And then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. And then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. Then you really might know what it's like to have to choose. Seen a rich man beg, I've seen a good man sin, I've seen a tough man cry, I've seen a loser win, I've seen a sad man grin, I heard an honest man lie. I've seen the good side of bad and the downside of up and everything in between. I lick the silver spoon, drink from the golden cup and smoke the finest green. I stroked the baddest diamonds at least a couple times before I broke their heart. But you know how it comes, that's what they say when you stick to start. One, two. Knew this kid named Max used to get fat stacks on the corner with drugs. Used to hang out late at night, get drunk and try to keep pace with thugs. But late one night, there's a big old gunfight. Max lost his head. Talked some trash, end up dead. God forbid you ever have to walk a mile in his shoes. Then you might know what it's like to have to lose. Now his wife and kids are all involved in the midst of the pain. But that's how it comes, that's what they say, you know, when you play the game. And God forbid you'd ever have to wake up to hear the news. And then you really might know what it's like to have to lose. And then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. And then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. And then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. And then you really might know what it's like to have to lose, have to lose. Guys. Thanks, Steve. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. That was a hard song. Oh my God, you guys are awesome. Amazing. All right, we have a potluck following this service, so just come and join us. We actually have food available. We have plenty, so just come and join. Let's all eat together and have community together. Please show up next Sunday after the second service with your weed whackers. Women are allowed to do it too. We can all be out there and get this place looking beautified. And the Angel Camp starts in 2 weeks, and I'll be leading that with Heather and many volunteers, and it's going to be a blast. So sign up your grandkids, your children, and be a part of all of it. Let's just finish with one song because we have prayer partners available. Let's all stand if you're facing a challenge today. They will come and find you seated in your seat where you are and take you down to our meditation room. But right now we're just going to finish with I Release and I Let Go because we're running late. Here we go. Let's all rise and sing our closing song. Here we go. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light.